that's it. So let's
This is happening.
let's start off with the cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
yes,
and do you need something to drink?
I'm
Get you
good.
anything?
there you go.
Hey, there it is.
No, we share
That's
it all,
it.
man. We share the coffee. We share the driving. No, that's not true. She does all the driving.
Man,
I do all the driving.
good times.
We've been talking
So-
about this. We've been talking about this for a year, man.
Yeah.
It was like today, a year ago, that we were here.
Yep.
You were showing us the shop, talking about how, oh yeah, I'm gonna build a podcast studio, and I followed up with you every few months, and you're like, it's coming, it's coming.
I would send you some pictures every now and then and just show you, hey, because this was all like cement, chopped up floor, and these walls were like a shade of pink. I was like, yeah, we got to do something about this. And so, every little bit I would send you a thing, and you'd be like, all right, when do I have to come up? I'm like, all right, it's not ready yet. Hold on. Give me a little bit more time.
I was ready, but
And so honestly, I was gonna have all the sound tiles up by now, and then my little hospital stint happened. That was fun.
you okay?
But,
Everything
Wait,
good?
what happened?
Yeah. So So a lot of people didn't know. The day before the boat show, I was released from the hospital. I had a stent put in going into my small intestine. Yeah. So Saturday morning, I woke up and I had this sharp pain right in my sternum, and I was like, okay, maybe it's just gas or something. Hopefully, a full day goes by. It's Sunday. Rachel has maternity photos. And so she's like, hey, let's clean you up. So she, shaves the back of my head, trims up my beard a little bit. She's a hairstylist, so she's got the skills. And she's like, look at me. I look at her. She's like, your eyes are yellow.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, what's that mean? She's like, you have jaundice, dude. We're going to the hospital after the maternity photos, of course. So we wrap up the maternity photos, and when she's all like chilled out, she's like, all right, we're going to ER. ER says, let's do a CAT scan. Shows nothing. Let's do a MRI. The MRI showed a blockage. It's like I had like a narrowing going into my small intestine area, and my liver enzymes were crazy. They were 970.
Wow.
They should be 40.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they're like, we're going to do a endoscopic. So they knocked me out on this is on Tuesday. They knocked me out, went through my mouth, went in there, cleared it out, put a stent in. When I came to within the anesthesia, you're kind of feeling like this, but like an hour after that, I felt fine. Like nothing happened.
Okay.
And they kept me in till the next day, which was Wednesday morning. And doctor comes in and says, you look fine. Your blood results are coming better. Everything's dropping back to normal. Mm-hmm. And as long as the GI doc says you can head out, I'll clear you.
Wow.
Within 15 minutes, I got the go-ahead. Within a half an hour, I'm back home, showered up, and half an hour later, I'm at the boat show setting up. And that's the day before the boat show.
And then the day after, I see you at the award ceremony.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Friday night.
Yeah,
So it's been a wild week. Let's just say that.
Okay.
That's crazy.
You look good though. You look
Thanks, man.
fresh. You look like $1 million.
Yeah. Thanks to coffee, it works wonders. So let's talk about Friday night. That was a real cool event.
Oh man, that was so fun.
Young Cruisers Association put on a event for those of you that don't know. They put on a really cool event for best Instagram photo, best TikTok,
Best clip.
best
on
clip.
YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, best upcoming YouTube channel, which
There you go.
Spirit Animal. I think
Spirit
got
Animal
that.
One. Our boys. Yeah.
They should have one class, and maybe I'll talk to Logan about this for next time. They should have had best videographer.
Okay.
Because I think you would have took the cake on that. And I've heard that's
dude.
a pretty unanimous kind of rumor between some of the YouTubers when I heard oh yeah, well, I heard one person say, well, David does half of my footage for me. And I was like, okay, then he's like, oh yeah, just the overall drone shots and this, that, and the editing. And I'm like, yeah, he knows what he's doing. I've watched a couple of them. How did you get into all that?
Oh, like videography.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not some master videographer or editor, man. I'm telling you, I just spend a ton of time doing it.
Yeah.
Okay? Imagine building a sail How long does it take to build a sail? Somebody with experience?
Yes.
A small one.
A small one.
Something reasonable, like Catalina 22 mainsail.
Couple days.
Couple days, right? Okay. So imagine somebody that knows exactly how that sail is supposed to look but has no experience building it.
Right.
He could do it.
Yeah.
It might take him 50 days, right? He'll build it, and then he'll break it down, and he'll learn, oh, okay, I got that tiny corner right. And then he'll rebuild it again, maybe 10 more times, and realize, okay, I finally got that little piece right. And then you rebuild the whole thing because you realize, oh, the stitching should be totally different, right? So I'm going through and trying every little piece of my edit 10 different times. Yeah. And each time may take me 30 minutes, an hour to get that piece done, and then I throw it away, and I redo it and spend another 30 minutes, and another 30 minutes, and another hour. And then finally, you watch it and you feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody has taste. Like, you go to a restaurant, you know what tastes good. You go to a movie, you know it's a good movie. You don't know how to make movies.
Right.
But you can just keep on making that movie, and it's going to suck, but make it 1,000 times. A part of that movie is going to be pretty damn good that you made. So that's
He's sitting there editing, and then all of a sudden I'll hear him say, "Oh, shit, that was it. This is it."
I'll stand up, throw my phone on the ground, like stomp around, like, with my hands up. That's it. We do that all the time. And I'm like, get over here and watch it.
Yeah.
And then she'll watch it and be like, oh, God, that's good.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. Good.
And we're talking something that's like 4 seconds long. All right. But then you learn that one piece. And then you keep on playing this game. And then you learn this tiny other piece. And then you watch other people's videos.
Right.
And you try to replicate what they're doing for a certain piece. And then before you know it, you've got like 10 different things that you can do well that no longer take 10 hours to do.
Right.
So then slowly
you
it comes
constantly
down.
Build off of it.
But if you look at most people's videos, they take 20 to 30 hours to edit. Right? A 15, 20-minute video. My videos, insane. 10 minutes. It takes me 130 hours. I mean, it's crazy. It's like nonstop. It's days and days and days.
That's crazy. Where do you get the time for it?
Dude, we don't sleep much.
Yeah.
And also,
That's the coffee.
This is like 100% YouTube, right? So then before she was working, so then like she's working, we have help with the kids, and then I'm doing that. So that's also why I don't get videos out before.
Right.
So before, it'd be like 3 months we'd get a video.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until we came to this boat show that I was like, dude, we're going to put a video out every single day.
That's crazy, man.
Just go nuts, right?
Yeah.
I'll either like faint from no sleep, which eventually did happen after day 3,
Oof.
or we'll try it and see what happens.
I saw you Saturday night, and you were tired.
Yeah, I was tired.
You were tired. You're like, oh, man, I was like, dude, you don't got to tell me.
So there was Thursday, Friday. That was like day 2, so 48 hours in, and I slept none.
Yeah.
And then day 3, I slept for a couple hours. So then 3 days, 72 hours, I had like 3-4 hours in, and then day 4, that's when I couldn't.
Yeah,
I knocked out.
Need a break.
I fell asleep like on the computer, and I had like pressing all sorts of crazy buttons.
Yeah.
And then I had to undo like 1,000 times because.
Yeah, so that's how I was Wednesday when I came back, because I wasn't allowed to eat. I didn't eat for 3 days. So I was released Wednesday. Last time I ate was Sunday morning. And because I was on an MPO, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I can't have anything.
Nothing by mouth.
Yeah,
That's what it stands for.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
She used to be in the hospital.
All right. So I'm running around here, and Kate, she's one of our employees. She works the front desk. She's happy to see me that I'm out, but her face kind of tilts, and she kind of is like, he doesn't look so good. And because I'm rushing to do all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. And within like 2 hours, I noticed something. Somebody at all times was following me. And
really?
Somebody, I don't know who it was yet, but thankfully someone was like, hey, follow Stevie because he doesn't really know it, but he looks like shit. And he's falling all over the place. So someone get him something to eat now. And so they went to Smokehouse and brought me back something. It was the best sandwich I've ever had. It was so good. But yeah, that's it. Sleep deprivation and exhaustion can get you off your game.
Yeah.
It really can. But
it can.
Yeah, I think we're sort of caught up now.
It's a sacrifice, man. We're trying to test things out. You got to put on an entire boat show for bacon. I had to see if I can get videos out because that's what was missing for me. Now I can go back. I know I can do one video a week.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So.
Yeah, I remember because about a year ago is really when I started following your page or channel, I should say. And I was watching this one video when you were in Linton Bay, and it was this angle shot. I don't know if you did it with a drone and then blended it with the camera maybe afterwards, but it was like a seamless shot where it shot through the, like, past the boat from the side, around the piling that was holding it up. And then it was like it went to like a focused image. And I remember watching that, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but that was like some Michael Bay shit right there. That was a really cool shot. And I was like, I know how long that had to have taken just for that one, because it's
probably 10 hours.
Yeah, but that's it. That's the that's what it takes to get those stunning images. and those stunning
you need
things.
it. So like that, what you're talking about right there, it starts far back with the drone.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just the visually pleasing, like you're far back with the drone, so you see everything. So you know where you're at. Right.
Right.
And then you zoom in, and then you're right in front of it. So your mind knows exactly where you were and where this person is and what he's doing, and you get a feel for the whole thing. You miss that far out shot, and you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So it's important, I think. But I do a lot more than I need to right now. I need to figure out what's worth it and what's not.
Right. Got it. So let's see here. Start off on my list. What got you into all this? What you got into boating?
What got into boating? Man, this is we were into van life, man.
Yeah.
So like
there's a crossover there for sure.
Yeah, but we weren't real van lifers either, because we're like crossed over from career life. Right? So we're working, she's working, and we wanted a van life, but like how do you van life if you live in Houston? It's like we're in the city. I literally live downtown Houston.
Yeah.
So we're like, screw it, let's buy a van and just convert it and we'll use it. So I turned it into our daily driver. Like I drive a full-blown camper van around every single day for work, for everything.
Nice.
And then when we had a chance, we would just go off and go, for a weekend, for 2 weekends, for half a week, for whatever, whenever we could. We'd get out, we'd get away and go live in the van. And just wherever, park in Walmarts, park at campsites, just whatever. We were van lifers for 2 days. Weekend warrior van lifers. That's kind of what
Vanners. Do you ever see that? There was a documentary called Vanners.
I'll have to check it out.
It was really good. It's about folks who have, earlier model minivans, the big vans, the old Chevy
We started with
Good
a
Times
minivan.
van, and the Astro van, Safari Edition van.
Nice.
There was a few of those, and there was a TV show called Vanners, and they would meet up and all that stuff. But I think there's a new world of van life people, and that's what I call the nomad life, and that's a lot of people that we deal with in the sailing style and on the land with the RV style, to where you get these folks that are taking same components from a sailboat, like a Nature's Head composting head.
Man.
That's totally universal. We sell to both. I'm like, hey, is this going in the van or in the boat? And they're like, I want one for each. Can you cut me a deal? I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? And so we see that coming in, and you see everybody, they're getting the same Niker solar vents for ventilation,
definitely.
and electric stoves or propane stoves, and it's a really neat thing. We've outfitted a few vans so far.
Man.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, because you can. I guess the cool thing about that is you don't have to worry about your van sinking.
No, that's the difference. Yes, you could just pull over on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And
our van did die in the middle of a national forest. Where was it? And you had to drive like an hour and a half.
yeah, we were in just south of the Grand Canyon, right? So we're like 30 minutes of trail, not like gravel type trails, like easy to drive, but like into the woods, parked in the woods, like trees all around, and it won't start. Oh man! And I'm like, oh my god, we're totally screwed.
That's tough.
But eventually we found a ride down south, like an hour to some O'Reilly's, and I started buying all different kinds of parts, like anything that might need to be replaced. And then we eventually got it fixed. But
that's good.
Yeah, crazy stuff happens. But how it all started, we were one of these stints where I think COVID, Mary had off, or she was working from home. And we jumped in the van, drove to California. We were Santa Cruz. That's where we were, Santa Cruz. And we had been going about a month and a half. And we realized, like, I don't miss anything from home. And I asked her, what about you? Like, do you? And she's like, no. Yeah. And it wasn't easy. I mean, we had, at the time, 3 kids living in a van. I mean, it's a nice van, but it's not that big. You know,
Yeah.
we're on top of each other.
Yeah, it's about less than the size of this room.
Yeah, for sure. It's a transit, you know, the medium height rooftop, medium length one. And every day you're looking for water. You got to fill your water. You're looking for places to dump the toilet.
Yep.
You're looking for whatever. You're just always looking for stuff, places to sleep. It's pretty stressful.
Yeah.
You know, but no, we loved it. Despite of all the stress, we were loving it.
Mm-hmm.
And we were deciding, I was telling her, like, let's go home, sell this van, sell our house, and build our dream van.
Awesome.
And then that's what we did. We went home and started looking. And as we're looking, we're still watching our sailing channels. And Mary,
I was like, hey, why don't we get a boat instead? Instead of a bigger van or a nicer van, let's get a boat. And then he says, we don't have money.
okay, her exact words were, why would you want a van life when you can boat life? And my exact response was, because we don't have money.
You ain't get that yacht life money, yo.
I was like, dude, we can't afford that. But no, we just started looking into it. You know, that kind of planted the seed.
Yeah.
And we started just selling stuff.
Selling stuff.
Dude,
and,
I've sold.
budgeting like crazy.
Yeah, she was on the budget, man. Like, no more eating out ever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, never. We did not eat out for a year and a
it's
half.
crazy when you cut that out and you see how much you were spending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is.
It's a small fortune.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No more going out and no more eating out. You know,
Right.
that's like what, $1,500, $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, especially with kids.
yeah,
with
Yeah.
there you
kids.
go.
Now you get now. How many kids do y'all have now?
We have 4.
yeah.
There's so many of them.
I'm trying to catch up to you. I got mine coming next month.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That
Thank
is
you
so,
so much.
you don't even know what you're in store
Yeah.
for, girl or boy. Do you know
Girl.
yet?
Girl.
Dude, it's going to change your life.
And so, you know, my father's name is Steve.
Yeah.
My name is Steven. They call me Stevie.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Or my friends call me Z. And so that, oh, by the way, the name of this podcast will be Z Sheets to the Wind.
Nice, dude. I like it.
Yeah, you like that? A little
Yeah.
catchy. And so,
And this episode will be called Z and She.
Z,
Boom.
boom, man. That's it. See, I like being around good creative minds. It's great. It keeps me going. Well, and so we said, hey, if it's a boy,
Yeah.
we're naming him Stevie. If it's a girl, we're naming her Stevie.
Stevie.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, I
And so,
love it.
so my favorite guitarist is Stevie Ray Vaughan, right? And Rachel, my wife, she really likes Stevie Nicks.
Uh-huh.
And her name's Rachel. We call her Ray. So her baby's name will be Stevie Ray.
Oh.
R-A-E. Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
that is
yeah.
so cool.
And I'll never forget her name, too. So it's kind of like,
Oh, did you hear his story?
Oh, my God.
no.
All right, so first of all, we named our daughter Joey. Similar,
Okay.
like not like a girl, like just Joey. My best friend, his name is Joey, and he's just, we've been friends since middle school. He's been with me my whole life, you know,
Yeah.
and I love that name. So we
Cool.
named our daughter Joey.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, when we bought the boat like a year and a half ago, I was getting ready for the crossing to get down to Panama to meet Parlay. I had no idea how to do a crossing. I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking for captains. I'd never sailed before. And there was one night where I met some people and we were hanging out at dinner and they asked me, you know, about the kids like you are right now.
Yeah.
And they were asking me their names. And I couldn't remember my daughter's name, dude. But not for like a couple seconds. It wasn't like a brain fart. This is a scary story, to be totally honest. Like, it was like an
Yeah.
hour or two that I couldn't remember
Yeah.
her name. And I was like, am I having a stroke?
Right.
Is it stress? Is it? And I called her like really sad.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually I remembered her name. But the
Now,
point is like,
now when
during-
you made that phone call, was it a blatant, what's our kid's name? Or did you try to fish around a little bit? Like, hey, so who are you with right now? What kid is near you? Oh, is it so-and-so? No. How about the other one?
Yeah, but say here, which one? You
Yeah,
mean the
which
youngest?
one?
No. Like, which youngest?
She's catching on like, wait a second. Hold up. Did you forget our kid's name?
No, but the problem is with the people I was with, I had to make up a name. And it was like so wrong. It just felt, I couldn't get myself to do it, but I had to. I can't say I don't know. So I just said like Jessica.
Yeah.
I said Jessica. It's like I still can't remember her name. Anyways, that's the
great.
I can't tell if it's a funny story, it's a sad story. It's kind of like
It's
both.
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, like am I getting old? Am I losing my memory? Was it just stress with the boat at the time?
Probably.
Who knows? But,
So let's talk about that. you come across a catamaran.
Yeah.
Were you looking for a catamaran? Were you
Yeah, of course, man. I watched the Winds. I watched Parlay.
Yep.
You know, Parlay was he wasn't the first one that we came across. The Winds were, of course, Zatara's, all the big
Zatara's.
channels that everybody
Sailing
watches.
with the Winds. That's their
Yeah.
channel. Yeah.
Yeah, Gone with the Winds, yeah.
Gone
And
with
then, we came across Parlay one day. You know, YouTube recommends it. And I was like, that guy's so cool.
Yeah.
And then I watched more of it. I'm like, oh, my God, his story is so cool.
Yeah.
And then we really got hooked on Parlay for a couple of years. We were just watching them, like doing all the boat work. It was nuts, you know?
It's crazy.
So, yeah, it was always going to be a catamaran. Like, you know, it's just like you grow up.
Especially with all the kids.
Yeah.
A catamaran makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, that boat is what I grew up, not my young age, not when I was a kid, but like my youth in sailing, my exposure to sailing from when I was a baby, when I first knew what sailing was, which was probably just 2 or 3 years ago,
Right.
to now, like that's all I've ever known was a Lagoon 450 and seeing
Yeah.
the boys on Parlay doing their thing, seeing the Winds on a Leopard 44. It was going to be one of those two boats.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
then when we were looking, it was going to be a 450. And
That's
we got
great.
on the 450 and it was like, this is it. Like, I feel like I'm at home. I've been
Yeah.
watching this boat for years. I love it.
It's a perfect size boat, perfect size catamaran. Like, and the fact that like, with at that length and width, you can have the full crew on there.
Heck
People
yeah.
aren't on top of each other.
Uh-huh.
You can have your own little space. Different heads, and and you can lounge on the front and the back, and
The middle,
side,
the top.
middle,
Flybridge.
the top. Yeah, if you really want to, isolate yourself, you can just climb the bosun chair and go to the very top of the mast and be like, yeah, whatever. I'll see them in a little bit. But that's that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so that boat is the only boat that in that range that you can have the entire crew. We're talking, 8-10 people, right? Whoever's sailing with you, everybody can sit at the helm together while you're sailing.
That's really cool.
It changes the whole dynamic of sailing and just the family, environment. Everyone's close and playing and hanging out together.
Yeah.
And that's the only boat that does that.
And what I do like about catamarans is I also like driving boats with a flybridge. Like I have Egg Harbor 33, it's really 38 feet. I've been restoring. Everybody knows the story. Well, my friends know the story about it at least. And like, when are you gonna get that boat back in the water, buddy? But when I was driving around, you're up high, and that's why on a catamaran you're up a level, and you can see a little bit better. To where a monohull, you're only about 5-6 feet off the water.
Sure.
Right.
And then that's if you're sitting. If you stand up, maybe a little bit more, but. On the catamaran, you definitely get to have a little bit more vision, a little bit more breeze, and you get to kind of take it all in.
You're bringing me back right now, just talking about it like
that's
that.
That's I got the tree in the background. I'll get you a little fan going on here,
There you
a
go.
little drum action. No, that's cool. And so you came across the lagoon, and you said, "Hey, this is the one. Let's get it." Now, where'd you get it from?
So I mean, no, it wasn't just any lagoon. I need like the cheapest lagoon.
Yeah.
Like I ended up buying the cheapest Lagoon 450 on this side of the world. Like,
Really?
you might be able to get to Greece and some of those that don't have taxes paid, you might be able to get a cheaper one. But I was like, I need something low. Like we don't have a crazy budget.
Right.
And we have to refit it so it can go around the world.
Yep.
And I know that everybody underestimates that. So like we overestimated it and then doubled it. So we really needed the initial price to be low.
And for folks who, and I should say this, definitely hop on the channel, y'all's channel, and look at some of the work y'all are doing on this boat. One thing that I've seen with the lagoons is the bulkheads.
Oh, heck yeah.
And
Yeah,
y'all are knocking, you're going head in and taking care of it.
For sure.
And making it all work. Where I think the word enormous as a job to do is underestimation.
It's crazy.
When I've seen Colin's videos and your videos, and there's a few others that I've seen. Just being in the sailing world, stuff is sent to me. And it's so let's talk about that. How's that process going for you all?
Yeah, so man, it's been the biggest job that I've ever done. If I had known this is what I was getting into, I would have never bought the boat.
Yeah.
I didn't actually know the boat was that broken. I knew there were some issues when we bought it.
Right.
And after we bought it, we started inspecting it. Like we're talking days after we bought it, and realized the issues were a whole lot worse.
Yeah.
And I reached out to Colin. and I hunted him down like a bounty hunter, man. Like, no shame, dude.
Yeah.
Every form of social media with tact,
Yeah.
waiting some days between different messages.
Uh-huh.
And finally, I sent him some pictures by email or through something, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're real." I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm real. I've been telling you. I think my boat is really broken, kind of like yours." He's like, "Yeah, but I didn't know until I saw the pictures, and your boat is fucked."
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And he said, "Don't buy it." And I was like, "No,
Too late.
You're not
Too late,
understanding.
partner.
I just bought it." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I hope you got some money off." And we negotiated something, you know. So it wasn't. We didn't pay like full price for it. We knew something was amiss.
Yeah.
I just thought it was going to be a couple $1,000 in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
But we realized it was bad. So hey, Colin, can I come down to Panama and
Everybody
see
in
how you're
Linton
doing
Bay,
it? Linton Bay, and he was like, "Yeah, sure. We're about to pull our boat out of the water and start fixing the bulkheads." So that's it. Found captains. That's when I forgot my daughter's name, and then we drove a week straight down to Panama.
Wow.
I
you drove down there?
Yeah, we sailed it down there. Hell yeah!
Oh,
we bought the boat in St. Martin. It was from Martinique, but COVID, we couldn't go there. So they brought the boat up, made a deal. Like, if we don't buy it, we pay for all the transport. If we buy it, you pay it. So we closed in St. Martin. It was beautiful there.
Right.
Sailed it straight down to Panama and hauled it out of the water within a few days.
No kidding.
And I've been living, not now, but up next 11 months, living on the hard, next to Parlay, living the worst form of boat life ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On the hard.
Yeah.
And now temperature-wise down there, what's it like?
It's a rainforest. It's tropical.
Humidity through the roof.
Yeah. And it rains every day.
And you're doing fiberglass.
Yeah,
work.
we're in fiberglass. Full suits. It's crazy.
That's, for those that don't
Grinding.
know, fiberglass work is it's nearest to like a prison sentence that I can think of as far as labor intensive.
Yeah, for sure.
It's itchy. You have to wear a full suit, and no matter what, it always seems that no matter what you're working on with fiberglass, it's always hot outside.
Yeah, and it gets inside your suit too.
Yeah.
So it's insane.
You got to wear a respirator and all this. You look like you look like one of those COVID doctors from the quarantine zone when you're working on it.
Yeah, 100%.
And so where are we now in this process? Are you
so we fixed the hell out of those bulkheads, man. Colin taught me how to fix bulkheads. It took I thought I was going to be down there for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I told her like in my first video, I say 3-4 weeks, we're going to do it right. We're going to do what Parlay does.
Right.
And it ended up taking me overall like 11 months, of fixing these bulkheads. We had to grind them out. The bulkheads are golden now.
That's
They're
awesome,
perfect
man.
because we literally were
You restructured it.
Yeah,
restructured the boat.
we're just behind Parlay. So everything Colin did, he taught me how to do, but with his new knowledge,
That's very lucky.
No, I know. It's like I couldn't have. He
But
knows.
that's awesome.
I could
Yeah.
not have done it without him. Chance.
He's awesome, man. I was
And he didn't
watching
have to
some
do
of those
that,
videos, and his crew, and they seem to be very helpful and knowledgeable, and that kind of takes us back to the whole sailing culture.
Yeah.
And adventure and cruisers culture is. That's it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of labor to be done. There's a lot of technique that needs to be done, but those that have done it prior, they're so willing to help out and share and help others live the dream.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's
definitely.
That's going to be awesome.
He helped.
Y'all going to be cruising around here shortly, and instead of white outfit suit, thumbnails. I'm going to see you with maybe a cool bead in the hair or something, and driving the boat down in the islands somewhere. And I'm looking forward to those.
Yeah, man. So we got the boat bulkheads. I'm sorry, not the boat. The bulkheads are completely fixed. We sailed the boat around with Parlay for a while, and I learned how to sail with these guys, man. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good bread right there to learn off of.
Totally, man. People, you're right. People in the sailing community, they're helpful. A day or two of help, You know,
Yeah.
this guy helped me for a year.
That's insane.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Through the bulkheads, through all the repairs and everything else that comes with it, and then boom, now we're sailing. And he's like, "You don't know how to sail? Seriously?" It's like, come on,
He's
man.
like, all right, let me. Now you have to buy my part 2 course. We're not fixing the. We're sailing the boat. You know?
So we splash, and then he starts. I mean, like, I've been on lots of boats because I'm down in Linton Bay for a year, so I've been on his boat a lot, been on everybody's boat, so I know kind of. But then he teaches me how to sail, and then now we have to do our main passage, and he's like, "Okay, you got crew?" I'm like, "No, I don't have crew. Why are you asking me if I have crew? It's just me. Like, Mary can come down." He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna let you borrow Jamie." So
Yeah.
Jamie comes aboard, and he helps us do our first crossing, which, oh, dude, it's nuts, man.
Yeah.
We lose both engines. We lose fresh water. I mean, there's a
Dock
crazy
line
storm.
caught in the prop.
Oh my god! And then I have her aboard, right? So I'm like, my family. I'm gonna kill my family. Or the kids aboard? I can't even
Yeah,
remember.
the 2 babies.
Oh, I got 2 kids. The 2
Yeah.
older kids are aboard, so I'm about to lose half of my kids and my wife and myself. And then, I mean, we cut the line out of the prop. Jamie knows what to do. Jamie's a full-blown captain by now because he's been under Colin like for all these years, you know, and he saves our life. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
You know, and then after that, I go through my boot camp, and now I know how to sail. We use that. We end up sailing back and forth, Shelter Bay, Linton Bay, a little bit in San Blas, and then we come back to Texas.
That's it. Is
So
that where the boat's at?
The boat is in Texas now.
And what area?
Kima.
Right up in your neck of the
Yeah,
woods, man.
yeah. That's a little short hop and a drive from Galveston.
Yep.
Exactly.
Tell you what, if y'all ever get down to Galveston,
Uh-huh.
they got Offutt's Bayou, and they got
Yeah.
the Galveston Bay.
Heck yeah.
And really, really good sailing around there.
We've been all over. We brought the boat back. I mean, I've got a crack in the heat exchanger now because water's leaking or it's now water.
Yeah.
It used to be coolant was in the radiator. Now it's like an old car. You know the old cars? Like you got a gallon of water in the back and you stop every hour and you add more. Yeah, that's what we're doing to the big boat. It's
Nice.
really funny.
Nice.
People are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, I'm just checking the fluids. And they're like, "Why are you pouring stuff in there?"
Well, you didn't know this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, this is what you do before we start. I'm like, don't worry, we'll be good. We took Daryl. You met Daryl from
Yeah,
Precision
yeah.
Sales, right?
Good guy, good
He
guy.
came down with the family. I took him sailing for 2 weeks
No kidding.
with a broken heat exchanger where I have to go down there and fill it up.
Hey, Daryl, hey, while you're down there, can you just pour a little bit down there?
Oh, man, it was crazy. And once again, like our boat isn't fixed. The walls, there are holes everywhere.
Right.
You can see the bulkheads. You can fall down into the holes. There's like a plank that connects, the passageway to the actual cabin.
Was it
And
the passage with Jamie where the engines broke off of the mount?
oh my
Engine mounts
gosh, dude! The engines fell off the mounts during that. It was crazy. We had to go along with the propeller problem where we sucked up a line. Like we lost both engines because both engines broke off the mounts.
Now, did the bolts come out, or did they just break
No.
off the
So
rack?
you have the bottom of the mount that's bolted to the boat, right?
Yep.
Then you have a thick piece of rubber, and then that rubber is connected to another metal piece that's connected to the engine. So after a while, apparently you're supposed to change those every 1,000 miles, but the rubber just separates because it's adhesive.
It's just constantly being vibrated.
They get
all
dry
that.
and then
Yeah.
they just separate. So like I'm looking at the engine, just checking, because I was just like, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the engine, and as we're going up a wave and then down a wave, I see the engine lift up 2 inches and hover. It's not shaking, it's not slamming, it's just hovering 2 inches and then coming back down. Hovering up, I'm like, that is not connected to the boat. I'm like,
Oh
shut
my
down port
goodness.
engine now. And then it happened on starboard engine. Well, actually, I think it happened on starboard engine after we caught that prop or caught the line on the prop, and it shook it, and that's when that broke. So then both engines are off. We fix it with zip ties, dude. Like,
Hey,
yeah, dude,
that's
massive zip ties, like about 20 of them. I just zip tied the hell
sailors are the most MacGyverous people when it comes to just anything. It's like zip ties and duct tape.
Yeah.
I can get a lot of work done on a boat with that stuff.
Yeah.
So
You
now
know?
when I send out, like, people buy a hat or something, Mary sends out a zip tie, like one of those. This is a 250-pound. That's an expensive zip tie, or this is like $1 for that zip tie.
Yeah, right.
But,
Yeah.
dude, it's
Charge them extra tax and handling charge on that,
yeah. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, I mean, we use the boat. We don't care. We use the boat.
I'm so glad to hear that y'all are on the back stages of the back nine
sure.
and finishing up this project, because I know, and a lot of folks know, how much goes into a project of that size, and just a boat in general. there's other things that break along the way. It's a boat, you know.
Right.
We just got done the boat show. All these new boats that are heading out right there. These people, I'd love to have a brand new boat. I don't have to work on anything. I'm like, give it 2-3 weeks. I guarantee you, from Annapolis to they're all heading down south, somewhere, something along the way, something's gonna break. You know, that's it. That's it. You know, so I always tell folks, get yourself a boat that is affordable.
Yep.
Make sure you have the time to work on it, and make it a priority. If you don't make it a priority, it'll never get done. And that's what you see these boats sitting in boat yards for years at a time. It's just, you know, I do a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not a priority. You know, you're still racking up those yard fees and all that stuff. You know, I'm one of them. You know, but that's the illness of working in a place like this. Is you get people coming in, a lot of government workers or people that are like, hey, I just got a new job, or I'm military, I got to go away for X amount of time. Here's this boat. It's worth $10,000. Give me $2,000 cash. You can have it. I'm like,
nice.
I don't want it. But then my dad just kind of moves me out of the way. He's like, I got $1,500 burning a hole in my pocket. And that's where you get all these boats that are lined up along this place. I think he's got somewhere about 15 right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But he'll get them. He'll have them for a year or two, sail them once or twice, and he'll flip them. You know, but he likes it. He likes all the different kinds, and you know, whether if it's a power boat or a sailboat, you know, he's got that 36-foot A-scow Outback that only draws. It's the whole freeboard is 1.5 feet. Okay. Yeah, thing goes about 35 knots. Wow. Sailboat. Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
But you need some flat water for it. Okay. You know, it's Michigan lakes or something like that. So that's cool. Now, what about this boat show? What do y'all think about that? How was the 2022 Annapolis Sailboat Show?
What do you think?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
So we already had an amazing time last year, and we were for sure going to come back this year just because, I mean, last year we were exposed to so many things, like so many opportunities and things we had no idea in this boat world.
Right.
So we were the whole year we've been looking forward to this boat show.
It's crazy because like we started doing YouTube already, right? Making some. So I'm down there, I'm filming everything, and Colin's like, "Dude, why don't you make some videos? Like I see you filming it. Why are you filming stuff?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna do videos one day." He's like, "Dude, just make a video already." And he's encouraging, and finally I did, right? So that's how we started in YouTube. So we had known we come to the boat show and we see like all these channels that we'd been watching our whole lives. Yeah. Sailboat life, right? Right. And it was epic, man. It was crazy seeing the potential of where we could be one day. Right. Even channels that had been doing it for 3-4 years, they come for the first time and they're like,
it's a mecca.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're walking down the docks and we're a tiny little channel and people would stop us and be like, "Oh my gosh, I watched What's Up with the Bulkheads." Like, how do people know? Yeah. You know, it's just a concentrated, like you said, mecca. Everybody comes here every year for that.
It's crazy. I get people come from all halfway across the world. Yes. Australia, New Zealand, all the time. And it's a priority for them to come here because it is a meeting spot. And there's other boat shows. There's Lauderdale. There's Miami. But those are like the South-oriented, big motorboat-oriented, sort of charter-ish, versus the Annapolis show is everything from racers to cruisers to builders to people that make the gear and all the different vendors and stuff that you didn't know you needed, but now you need it because you saw it.
And then the channels now, 54 channels came this year, for the YouTube booth. But last year, it's when we realized what I realized what I wanted to be when I grew up. Yep. Like that was my moment for me. We were doing YouTube, but I knew it. This is it. I want to put everything in my life into this. And since then, Mary has quit her job, not because we're making enough money. It's just I know this is it.
Yeah, priority.
We're building this business. We're building the videos. We're figuring all of it out. And I love this more than anything in the world.
That's awesome.
I love what I'm doing.
That is so awesome.
I'm freaking happy for once, you know?
Yeah.
Like I come from a career in oil and gas. It's great money. It's super secure. It's awesome. It's prestigious. It's whatever, you know? But I hated my life every day.
You're not building anything.
No. Well, yeah. So then I thought I need to start a business. So I quit that and I started a business selling e-bikes and like coffee on Amazon. And I was like, but I don't actually like e-bikes that much, and I don't really care that much about coffee, but I love the business side of things, right? So I'm not working for somebody else. And finally now I'm making videos, right? We're making content that could be epic. Yeah. And it's a business, and all the pieces are aligned, and I love it, man.
Well,
we're happy.
I can tell, as long as other people as well, you're probably the most positively energetic creator in the sailing world.
Hell yeah.
That I can say.
Because I love it. I'm happy now. I wasn't like this when I went to work in the corporate world. I wasn't happy like this. I'm so happy right now.
That's awesome.
In the corporate world, this is what he used to, they called it adventure lunch. So him and his buddies in oil and gas for lunch would go out and do things like they went to the trampoline park. They went and batted apples.
Home run derby, baby.
Home run derby.
Yeah, so I convinced a group of guys from work, right, suit and tie, that once a week we'd go out and we'll do a crazy video lunch.
Yeah, okay.
And we'd go out and we had like bike races, we had all sorts of like field goal competition, home run derby, all sorts of stuff. And this is kind of part of I've been wanting to do YouTube for about 11 years. Okay, so I've been filming everything along the way.
Right.
I even vlogged for a while in the very beginning. We had met these huge vloggers. Jesse Wellens, he's like one of Casey Neistat's friends now. He's huge now, but back then it was girlfriend versus boyfriend. I saw them at this festival my brother was putting on, and we hung out with them all weekend, and I was like, this is it. It's the same thing I just told you, what I want to be when I grew up. I knew then that I wanted to do YouTube.
Right.
Right, but I didn't do it. I just went and did something else. I just went and worked. I went to school.
You didn't find your avenue for what to do it in until
No, it's not that. I knew what I wanted to do. I could have done it with anything, but I chickened out, man. I was just scared. Yeah. You know what? I made excuses. I didn't have success right away, so I made excuses, and I just waited and procrastinated. I did that for 11 years until Colin kicked me in the butt and said, dude, come on. And he heard this story, and he's like, this is ridiculous. Go make a video right now. Stop doing your boat work.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why there's a lot behind all this.
And Colin, he probably sees it from a whole different angle because, he was on Below Deck. And, and he... a 45-foot boat for him is a small project into the 100 and how many feet is?
Oh yeah, he's been super yacht. Yeah. He's a super yacht engineer. Chief engineer. He's seen them all.
Unreal. Yeah, but he probably sees it in a different light and is like, hey, here's a guy that not only has just the potential with staying towards something, but got the heart to do it, and that's what it takes. It takes the skill and potential of building something, and then the heart to just go after it.
Sure.
And that's kind of like what I did with this podcast. My podcast, my original podcast was in my basement, and we would just kind of shoot the shit about whatever. It wasn't really sailing oriented. It wasn't really stand-up comedy oriented. Sure. It wasn't really arm wrestling oriented, but I would have a kind of a mix of all those.
Yeah. You were Joe Rogan.
Yeah, just with the longer hair. That's all.
Yeah, nicer hair.
And not as much money, but maybe we'll see one day. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And then you see, last year when we were chatting about all this.
Yeah.
This is sort of the envision. Now, I probably would have liked to have the 50-inch on the wall by now, maybe some LED lights behind me, but that's coming,
Yeah.
But that's it. You get the idea. You get around people that are sort of in the same mindset of growing something, whether if it's a channel or their boat project or their brand or their merch, By the way, really cool hat y'all hooked me up with. I'll be flaunting this for a while. But that's kind of, that's what it is. Now, how old are you?
I'm 40.
You look like you're 25.
I know, man.
So, all right, I'll be 33 next month. And so you hear all these stories these people. Oh, by the time I was 19, I knew what I wanted to do. Talk to me in 10 years to see if you still want to do it. And I think it really does take a while. You have to live life. You have to, I worked so many different jobs, and after all those jobs, I was a mechanic. I was a valet at the hotel that we partied at Friday night 10 years ago. Yeah. They recognized me. They're like, oh, you have a beard now? You got a belly? I'm like, hey, watch out now. And long hair because you weren't allowed to shave. But you had to be clean shaven.
Yeah, you had to
then.
shave. Yeah.
And so when they're oh yeah, I remember you. Yeah. So I had these oddball jobs, and I still came back to this because I knew I wanted to do that, but I wanted to try a few things out first. And at one point I had 3 jobs going on at the same time.
Wow.
And then you kind of tone it back, and then you say, all right, now my priority's here. I want to build the brand of Bacon's. I want to build the company more. And I have a lot of real good guys that I work with, Gary in the new sales, and Mike, and, Steve, he's the head of it all. He kind of runs it. And then Rob with parts, and then we have a whole rigging department and service department and all that. And so you let those key pieces build that part, and then me, I build what I can do and say, all right, I've done it to this point. What else can I do? And that's kind of where this podcast, with more boating oriented, sort of came from.
Oh, I love it, man. You got the personality for it. You got the experience for it. You got everything for it. You know? Us sitting down like this, it's like home.
This is fun. This is fun. Yeah. By the way, technically it's the second podcast, but it's the first one where I can actually pay attention to not the other 30 people that are running around or the tattoos that are going on.
I was on the first one. I was the initial one on the first one, right? So, this is amazing, man. I'm telling you, this is kind of like us doing our videos. At the end of the day, I get to put out a video that I love. I just love, and you get to sit here and create stuff you love. You have to just be so happy with it. I could make videos and you could make podcasts if nobody watched them or listened to them. Yeah. You know what I mean? If it's just at the end of it all, if you get to sit in bed and listen to this conversation and remember the feelings that you had and the experiences we had together, the things we were talking about, the laughs we had, I'm done. And that's what it is. Mary and I sit there and watch our own videos, and we're in love. We're so happy.
I can see it. I really can. Like with you two, it's something. And I saw the same thing last year when the spark was kind of going with y'all, and we were at Annapolis Smokehouse chatting about it for a little bit.
It's all the beginning, man. And we were nothing.
And now look at you. Yeah. Now you have people. We were down there. You came in the shop within 5 minutes. Someone comes up and hey, what's going on, David? Yeah, what's going on? Blah blah blah. I'm like, that's Bacon's for you.
And seriously, it is. It is. He's the guy we're gonna have a meeting with tomorrow. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, last year we were begging for sponsorships. Not that we're not now, okay? But it's amazing that he stopped us on the dock and he's like, hey, you're David. We want to work with you. I was like, hell yes, I'm all about that, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I love working with people that I like. Yeah. So right now we get to, like we're working right now. Yeah. I get to hang out with you. Right. This is my day in the office, right? Yeah. We get to talk about our story. I get to hear about your story. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow I'm meeting with that guy and Indy Marine, and we're going to chat about how we can work together. And
that's awesome.
I just want to make cool videos, man. I don't need stuff for the boat, although if I get some stuff, it's great.
What do you need?
No, dude, I just want to make awesome.
Yeah, but what do you need for the boat? I run one of the largest sailboat supply companies in the world.
Let me tell you what I need from Stevie. Let me tell you right now. This is a good question because it's not even boat related.
I got my notes right
here.
It
is boat related. Right behind me is a mini sail. It's about 2 meters long, maybe 1.5 meters, but it is to spec and to scale a real sail, and it's hanging on the wall. Stuff like that. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that I could go make a crazy video with, right? That I put it on I have a mini Highfield dinghy that's like less than 4 feet long. And that's the kind of stuff I want to do. I want to make epic videos that are super different. I don't want to make a sailing vlog. Yeah. You want to watch sailing vlogs? There's so
plenty
many
of them.
Yeah, you can go see how it feels to sail and listen to the water and talk about how everything's breaking. Stuff breaks on my boat all the time, but I want to make some unique videos. Like I don't know, like we dinghy to Cuba from Florida, or something like that. You know, I want to make that journey. That'd be interesting, right? Or I have the world's tiniest sailboat, and we take a Bacon sail like this and make it, something like that. That's the kind of stuff that I want to do. So if anything that I want from you, it's one of those sick sails that's behind me that I can hang in my boat and then take down and put on my mini dinghy.
I'll tell Gary to start production on them now. Let's see. I'm thinking maybe even a little custom, little David Shih action, sales action on one of those stickers there, and whatever. We can even do a little imaging of the lagoon on the back.
What
of it
about
or
what about
like
a
that.
tiny winch? How do we get a windlass onto my actual dinghy? I've got a 12-foot high field, right? I want to get a windlass on there, and I already have a tiny little mantis anchor that hangs off the front, and I want a bow roller. I'm going to make a bow roller that goes off the bow step.
I can probably get you. I think the smallest size is 700 watt.
Okay.
There's a few brands that do it, but we're a Quick dealer. I mean, we deal with everybody, but Quick is one of our Maryland distributors here, and maybe we get the world's smallest windlass on there.
But I need a tiny little remote, with a coil. Like it has to be a replica of like a real. I don't want like actual buttons like on a winch. Like it has to and then it hangs off to the side, and we take it off, and then we put our anchor down. That's the kind of stuff I like to do. It makes sailors mad, okay? Like the stuff I want to do, I get comments. People are like, "You can't do that." Like I want to turn my trampolines in the front into real trampolines. We talked to a trampoline company, and they were all for it. They're gonna help us do it.
Yeah,
so
it makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
I want real trampolines. I have 4 kids, but more importantly, I want to be able to roll up into an anchor, drop my anchor, right, back up on it, and then step up onto my fly bridge, get a running start, jump, land on my trampolines, double flip, dive in, and check my anchor.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a really fun video.
And if a halyard gets caught, who needs a bosun's chair when you just alley-oop yourself up there? Come on, little Joey, you're going.
That's it, right? So, anyway, that's the kind of stuff I want to do.
How's the channel going?
Channel's good, man. We tripled in size since last year.
That's awesome, man.
From Annapolis. Last year we made a video of the Annapolis boat show episode. It was super fun for us. And some of the stuff that happened was like we sold 2 hats, and I was so stoked that we sold 2 hats. We sold them at a loss because the guy was like, "I only have 30." Well, first he's like, "How much?" This is the second one. Mary sold the first one.
He must have been a sailor.
He was like, "How much?" And I was like, $15, and he's like, "I've only got 13." And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'll take it."
Yeah.
So I sold it at a loss of $2, but I was stoked in the video because I was stoked. Like, dude, we sold 2 hats. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And then I put that in this year's.
Did you put the first dollar up on the wall?
No, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I think it was. Yeah, I need to do that. But so then this year that was part of the video in the boat show, and then after that video of the boat show, like the first couple of days of the boat show, Mary ended up selling like 30, 40 hats or something like that because people are feeling sorry for us. They're like, "I'll buy a hat, I'll buy a hat." So
That's awesome,
stuff
man.
like that, man. It's just it's crazy fun because we're getting to build a community around the videos, and that's what we love. Like we have a Patreon group, a WhatsApp chat that everyone talks in. Everybody knows each other.
It's like a forum almost.
Exactly, but it's live, right? There's people chatting. There's people watching. There's whatever. People are involved.
Last year at this time, we didn't even have a Patreon account. We didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, so it was actually one of our current Patreons that was, "Hey, you should start a Patreon. We'll support you."
It's a great platform.
Yeah, and then it happened, and then now we had a big meetup this year. Like 30-something people came. It's like blowing my mind.
That is so cool,
we're thankful, man. We're so thankful that we're able to do this, right, and make like a fun group of people that hangs out. So all the Patreons that came, they got to meet each other for the first time. They've been talking for like the past year. They're cracking jokes. People are on there all the time. And then they get to meet each other like, "Oh my God, you're Frankie and Heidi. Oh, you're Frank the Tank. It's awesome." And we're in the middle of it all like, we're so lucky, man.
Yeah.
We have like such a cool group of people behind us. But that's how it's grown, man. It's just been the people. At the end of the day, it's all about the people.
Yeah.
It really is.
Getting to spend time with people, getting to hang with you, getting to hang with our friends, getting to hang with the other channels.
Yeah.
It's this week. If you're into sailing, I mean, there's no better week than this week. You come to Annapolis.
Saturday night for me was the penultimate of having all these channels, all these vendors, all these people, and under the roof of Bacon's.
Yep.
And I kind of sat there. I went into my office, and I just pinched myself and said, "This is so freaking cool, man. This is so cool." And then my 8-month pregnant wife is like, "Hey, let me sit in your chair. Get out of there." So she wanted to sit down. But, you walk around and you just catch up on all the little conversations of people and their projects and where they're going and where, in 2 months I'm going to be in I'm going to be in Grenada. Oh, I will be there too. And let's meet up. And you overhear it and all that. I'm like, this is it. this is what it's all about right here. And it was just so cool, you know. It's I love the boat show for the fact of that. Now the work part, not so much.
Oh, it's tough. I can't imagine the work that goes into that.
It goes a lot.
You guys put on a good party, man. That was crazy.
A lot of help from Jeff.
Well, we've been seeing we've been going to these events, but coming in seeing like all the drinks and food just spread out. You guys have this crazy. How long is your table down there?
65 feet.
Okay, they have a 65-foot table. Think like buffet table, but for a giant, and just filled with food. Like probably not 65, but 50 feet of it was full of food.
Yeah, I'd
right.
say
And
so,
then on the other side of the shop, like you got a table just full of just set up a bar.
Yeah,
like
someone was
full-blown bar.
Someone, I'm not even sure who they were, but they were like bartending for like 3 hours straight. I just went up to them and gave them a hug, like, I appreciate what you're doing, you know, thanks. And we had a whole nother bar up here
Upstairs,
on the
and
upstairs.
Then it was a club in here, man.
Yeah.
And then you had 50-something sailing channels, like YouTube channels here. Everyone intermingling and hanging out and talking. We're in this podcast room. There's like 10 different channels in here just messing around, like getting tattoos and doing podcasts and just enjoying life. Like these are the people we love.
Yeah, you had some like the OG channels. You had like Delos over there in the corner.
Yeah.
Then you had Colin downstairs with his crew. And
Totally.
then you had Matt Jess hanging out.
Yeah.
And then you had James from Zagaro. He was hanging out right here.
Exactly.
And then you, and then Odd Life was
Life
right
was
there.
here.
Taylor's Travels. was
Taylor
right
Travels
there.
was doing the tattoo. Odd Life he's the one that brought the tattoo studio.
And then Breaking Waves, what's his name? Ali was getting the tattoo.
Yeah.
And then
that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So we had a moment outside, actually. So Colin's helped me a ton, man, over this past year, right? And he doesn't want anything. He could care less. Like, thank you is like, whatever. I don't even want, he doesn't need it. That's not why he does it. But I've been trying to figure out what to get for him. And we worked out a deal with Flightboard to sponsor him. So he can buy whatever he wants. And there's not a lot of things that he wants that he doesn't already have.
Yeah.
But I know a Flightboard, one of these motorized hydrofoiling surfboards, like he will like it. I knew it. So we've been working a deal, and it was outside that we were able to tell him. So Tom from Nautical Ventures helped me with this whole deal.
Oh, that's so
we got
cool.
Hey, come out, Colin, for a second.
So when
we
I
told
came in
him.
here to grab all of David's things, and you're like, "Where's David?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I can't exactly tell you yet what's happening."
Yeah. I knew something was going on. I was like, they're going over here real quick. All right, something's going on. I figured that maybe a Patreon person or someone you had to chat with. I was like, I'm just going to let them do the thing. And then right when he left, somebody, I think Matt sat down from MJ. We started talking about his boat project, which... That's insane.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, we were there yesterday.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So we went outside. That's happened in your parking lot. Like so many
Awesome,
different
man.
things happen here.
Yeah.
You don't know how many deals are made. Like we're just sitting here meeting the different companies and like, intermingling. It all happened right here.
I'm
under this
sure
roof.
a lot of things went down deal-wise. And because there was like, probably 15, 20 different vendors here.
Yeah,
that are in the sailing industry.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Oh, it came up. So many cool video ideas came from this place. I mean, we're sitting there talking to Barnacle, and they do like the security system, right?
Yeah, crazy company.
Yeah. So like we can do an install video for them, but that's boring. Oh my God. Like, if I'm about to install a security system on my boat, I'll watch a boring video like that. But I was like, listen, this is what we're going to do. Okay. And they're like, okay, we're down for whatever.
Hype
like,
it
right.
up. Yeah.
Colin, we're going to install one of your systems on his boat. We're going to install a separate system on my boat, okay? Not exactly the same system. We're going to spend a bit of time in the video doing recon on each other's boats. And then Colin knows a Navy SEAL. It was his original partner on the boat. And then these guys, Barnacle, knows Navy SEAL equivalent, but in the British military, right? And then they're going to team up. We're going to team up with each other and try to break into each other's boats. He's in the Sea of Cortez. I'm in Houston. So this is like involves flights and crazy stuff. And Barnacle's like, we're in. We'll do it.
Dude,
so
that's going to be fun.
Right? Like that kind of video.
That's fun.
Yeah. So if you want to come, help me break into
All right.
Like
hey,
we're
I
talking,
can put on the mask and just act like I'm a mast or something and then just kind of sneak in there.
No, well, I mean, we're talking like dinghies, right? In the night. We're talking about scuba diving, right? Up until the chain and you climb up the anchor. We're talking stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
we're talking like legit.
legit.
Like
We're gonna
Navy
break into
SEAL action.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can break into his boat with like Barnacle's full blown system. And I was telling him we might break in. That's not good for you. And they're like, no, it's cool, man. We'll figure out how to improve. If a Navy SEAL can break into the boat, that's fine.
Yeah,
we'll make it better.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, that happened just downstairs.
That's it.
In Bacon
That's
Tales,
it. That's
next
it.
to that big ass giant buffet table.
Yeah, that was some good food, wasn't it? I think there's
Oh,
still a
it's
lot of it
good.
in the refrigerator.
Oh, good,
The
'cause I'm gonna
crew's
hit
been
it up.
snacking on it all week.
Tacos, man.
Oh,
Soft
man.
and hard. That was very tasteful to have the soft shells or soft tacos, and then also the hard shells. I had a little bit of both. Mary's into the hard shells.
Yeah. Well, what I do is I do the two hard shells
Uh-huh.
with the soft shell underneath. So all the crumbs go to the soft shell.
You are so smart.
They're taco.
Dude, that's so genius.
They're taco. Yeah. Ideas. We're making ideas
Wait.
here.
Do you have any hard tacos left?
I don't think so. Yeah. I think the hard tacos were made into a taco salad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have a taco after this for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I'm sold.
Let's see. So what plans for the future in terms of location? Where do y'all want to be in the next year?
Yeah, we'll sell the boat and then we'll start cruising. So
Sell the boat. Sell the house.
Yeah,
house.
yeah. I was like,
We're not
okay,
selling
hold on.
We're getting a
I
new
might
boat.
need some more time here.
no, we got to sell the house. That's why we went back to Houston. So
Got
we
it.
got to fix up the house.
Okay.
And we're doing it right now and then list it. And Mary's a real estate agent on the side. Mary does everything, dude.
Yeah.
Mary, everything. She made all our merch. She's a real estate agent. She actually, real job used to be work at the hospital. And she decided to quit on her birthday and not tell me about it. She told all our patrons first. Okay, I was on a flight.
Every
I landed.
time I'd go to David, I was like, and I hate my job. I'm gonna quit. He talks me out of it.
Dude, I'm so good at talking around.
So this
it.
time
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna talk to him about it. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
go do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
Hey,
she
you're a
quit.
rock star.
Yeah, man. So we got to sell the house, and then we start cruising. So we might stay a little bit longer just to fix some of the stuff or build.
Yeah.
But I'm totally fine with fixing the boat along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
You know. So
Yeah, you go to a different port and you have your little checkbook like, hey, well, I'm in this part of Florida. I'm going to do these 3 things, and stuff like that.
yeah, sure, whatever, something
Yeah.
like that. Maybe end up back here, but I'd love to cross the canal.
Yeah.
You know, Parlay, Delos, they're about to cross right now. If we were a little sooner, we'd be right there with them in the Sea of Cortez crossing.
Yeah.
Spend some time in New Zealand. My uncle's out there, or Caribbean. You can't go wrong with that. I think, honestly, every sailor you ask, like, where are you going next? Like, they can tell you the next place that they're going to, but they have no idea.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
They have an idea.
Well, that's the
Yeah.
whole idea of boat life, right?
Yeah.
You
and
have
then,
the
and then with
freedom.
weather-wise, you can have your plans.
Yeah.
I plan on being in Key West on this day to this day.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But if the weather window is off, maybe I'm hanging out in, somewhere in the Bahamas, or maybe I'm hanging out in Jamaica or something. It's just the you got the winds hitting different parts of the season, and sometimes Mother Nature doesn't want to play the favorite role for what you want to do, and that's it. That's part of the sailing cruising
But
lifestyle.
it's good everywhere, though. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
After this past year being away from the family and just experiencing all these crazy things, I realized as long as I got the family with me, right?
Yeah.
I got Mary around, the kids close by. Like, it doesn't matter what we're doing. We're gonna have a damn good time.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Let's see. Last thing I have for you.
But I'd love to bring the boat up here one day. Like, how
Well,
cool would
yeah,
that
let me
be?
hang out on it.
I can roll
Yeah.
up and be like, "Hey, Stevie, let's do the podcast from the boat."
This is
Right?
portable.
I did.
All these are clamps. I can take these off
Right?
and make it happen.
Yeah, that'd be so
Just
much
give
fun.
me 110 volts and we're good.
Oh, I got you 110. We
Yeah.
have so much power in the boat.
Yeah.
We have so much lithium.
Yeah. Oh, you got, look,
Thanks,
good.
Battleborn.
They're not in. It's
Yeah.
not in the boat yet.
Yeah.
So I love Battleborn. We're a tiny little channel, but I'm like, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna make I want to make a video of taking all your batteries and put it in the van, and I'm gonna turn it into a Tesla supercharger from my van, and then I'm gonna take all those batteries, I'm gonna install it into the house with all the Victron stuff, and in Texas we have this crazy thing. It's called free nights for
3
electricity.
nights and weekends.
So every night at 9:00, it's free electricity till 7. So my idea is we hook up all the power, right? And we go off grid every day, right? And use the power in the batteries and charge them all up at night and run off the grid at night. So then I want to make like a video about I figured out the way to make like free electricity
Yeah,
or something like
right,
that. The most
yeah.
expensive way to get free electricity. And like we go, like I show an electric bill like
That's
$0.
that's like a whole series you could do
Yeah,
right there
something
with
like
that.
that.
Exactly.
And then after all that, we'll install it into the boat.
Right.
And then they were like, okay, cool. We want to. No, they were actually in from the beginning. But yeah, that's awesome. So we have a lot
I've heard they're a really good company to work with.
They are. Oh, dude, they're so cool. They're headed up to the New York Stock Exchange, I think next week to ring the bell because they're going public.
Good for them.
It's awesome. I texted them. I'm like, hey, if you need supporters in the crowd, because I went up there with Odd Life for them to ring the bell because they were in a commercial with the New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that
so
was
I went up
cool.
there. Yeah, they invited me. Super cool. Duca, man, amazing. He's like, hey, come up to New York. I'm like, I don't know what it's for, but I'm in. And I flew up there, and he's like, all right, you need a suit. I was like, okay, I got a suit. And then we went New York Stock Exchange, walking around the trading floor. You don't know, where sailing is going to bring you. It's
really
nuts,
don't.
man.
Really don't.
It's just nuts.
Well, I was, I think I hit up Bobby White from Sailing Doodles.
Bobby is so cool, dude. That guy's a genius. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's a YouTube analytics genius.
Yeah, well, I hit him up last night, and just seeing if he was still in town.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh man, I'm already in L.A." I'm like,
"Oh, he's in L.A.
I saw you 12 hours ago. He's in L.A." So he's out there doing something, and then he's gonna do Lauderdale. But
he's going to Lauderdale?
I think so.
For the boat show.
I think.
Can you connect me with him? I've been wanting to talk to him. I just didn't get a chance to get his number this time.
Oh, that's how it is. It's like I plan on talking to all these people when they come to town, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah,
it's over and they're gone. I'm like, oh man, you want to do this, and that, and it's just it blows by so fast.
It does. It really does. But you got everything set up now. You can do stuff online as well.
Right. Yeah.
And the guys love you. All the guys love you, so it's easy. You can call them, and that's
good to hear.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that damn tall Stevie guy again, baking sales. Here we go.
Oh, dude, you were the star of the Annapolis show last year in my video. Dude. You were just crushing Tom with the arm wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Tom from Parlay is like.
He's a strong guy.
He's a strong guy.
I think if he
he's a strong
definitely
guy.
If he practiced it and actually competed with people that were like his size, his strength and better.
Oh, okay.
He's definitely got it. He could definitely do it.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just been doing it so long that even I was down 20 pounds. I was like, I probably could have still just held him right there, if I really wanted to. But
okay.
It's I'm not training like I used to. Let's just say that.
Okay. No, that was cool though. Seeing you crush Tom, because I've arm wrestled him a few times, and he was like,
he was taking out everybody,
like in a row though, like not like today and tomorrow, like just one after another, and then you come up and you're like, nah, let me show you how this is done. I kind of have some experience.
I forget who I showed, but this is at the Smokehouse last year, 2021 show.
Yeah,
and everybody was arm wrestling, and then it wasn't Jeff, or it was one of the channels, and I was like, because they said, oh yeah, arm wrestle the big guy, and I showed him a picture of me in a professional tournament, and I was like, no, I don't think they want to go against me, and then it had the opposite effect. They're all like, get the cameras out.
Oh yeah,
here we go. We have an amateur pro, whatever you want to say, guy, and everybody was pushing me towards the table.
I had two cameras out. Mary was filming. I was filming. I was right in the middle of it. It was awesome.
I felt like I was on ESPN for a hot second. Everything just kind of angled at me.
What's that movie? I put the clip of the movie in there where
over the top,
dude. He spins his hat around. I even spun his hat around, and I was like, it's on. I put the little clip in there, but then you still crushed him.
Let's see. Where do you see the industry going in the future, say within the next 10, 15 years?
I'm going to give you that perspective. I have no idea what I'm going to say right now, but I'll give you that perspective from somebody that's not in the industry at all. We're sitting here, you're telling me about the boats you have outside. I'm looking at you, and I'm really good at the look of like, hey, yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You're telling me like you have a fly bridge on a 32-foot boat. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, what does that mean? Like, is it like a tuna tower? Because I've seen those. So I know Lagoon 450.
Yeah.
I know it inside and out. I know everything about it. I can walk it and survey it with my eyes closed and tell you every single thing that might be wrong, what it's going to cost to fix it, how long it'll take, right?
Yeah.
But like I learned that being in Panama next to Parlay. I don't know anything else about the industry. So I'm seeing everything. I don't even know like monohulls. Okay, my buddy has like an Oceanus 40-something. So I know that boat only because I've slept on it. But I think the industry, so this is all, take it with a grain of salt, right?
Yep, for sure.
I think the industry is going younger. I think it's going to be a really tough move for everybody because a lot of the companies are realizing that social media and videos.
Major part.
And influencers, I hate that word influencer, but an influencer is just really somebody you trust because you know them through their videos as opposed to some celebrity.
Correct.
Right? The people that watch our videos and our group, They know us because we hang out with them, we talk to them. And when I tell them, hey, we're using Mantis because of this, they actually know the reasons, the pros and the cons of why we're using Mantis. And then they're like, they make their decision. And it's much easier to trust somebody that you know than just somebody else, some celebrity.
Yeah.
So I think that because of that, a lot of companies won't do well because they don't want to change.
Right.
So, and then sailing's also going younger. Right, it's not just old guys sailing; it's younger people that want to buy a boat and live aboard and experience that lifestyle, kind of like what happened with van lifing. So, yeah, that's where I think it's headed. I think it's going to be tough for it to go that way, or there'll be resistance. That's the word I'm looking for. A lot of resistance, but I feel like the people and the companies and just the industry, the parts of the industry that choose to go that route, hey, I mean, it's like tons of room for growth and experience and just things to happen, versus the other way, it's more like declining. You know what I mean? Like a company that says they want to get involved with people and make cool videos and help in general, like you guys just want to help people, right? You send care packages around. Yeah, that's awesome. You're a part of the new trend and where sailing's going to go. And then the companies that are like, no, the only way we sell stuff is at boat shows. And you're going to come up to me and you're going to love my product. And if you don't like it, then too bad, because we have history. No, those guys won't do as well.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of my thoughts.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where it's going to go. I'm thinking about going to Mets. Do you go to Mets?
Mets is crazy.
Just randomly, someone was like, hey, let's go to Mets. I got an Airbnb for you. Somebody's going to pay for it. So but the flight is still like $2,000.
Yeah. Let me tell you my 2 cents about it. I've never been. If I had the chance to go to where, running this place, it's a full-time gig.
Yeah, of course.
If you have the time to do it, and if you have the opportunity to go.
Okay.
Everybody who I've talked to in the industry in the past 15 years, it's a different animal. It's almost like the Detroit Auto Show versus like a standard car show.
Okay.
It's all the latest stuff, all the gear and gadgets and stuff that's not going to come out for like 3-4 years is being on display there with the ideas. And as far as like, promoting and influencing, it's a great opportunity to go there and chat with some of these companies and say, hey, listen, here's this company that has this product that they're within 2 to 3 years is going to be released to the sailing market. How about, we start with you now. Hey, we're going to have Dave, Mary. We're going to have them slowly start talking about this, and maybe we'll give them a prototype. And over the next year or two, get real feedback off of it, and and watch that product organically grow.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it would be a real good opportunity for you guys.
Okay,
to go
it's
check
Amsterdam.
it out.
I've never been there.
Yeah,
sounds like fun.
Good beer over there, I heard.
Okay. We just got to figure out flights, man. It's like I can't pay $2,000 times 2 to get out there, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
I heard they're cheap from Maryland, so maybe we'll come out here and fly from here.
Yeah, head out BWR or something like that.
Yeah, Matt and Jessica, they're going.
Are they?
Yeah, all this just came out of nowhere. All right, like we're talking to one of the companies that we're going to be there. They invited Odd Life. Odd Life told me to go, and I'm like, I'll go wherever you tell me to go.
Yeah.
And then we go see Matt and Jessica yesterday and tour their boat, which is crazy. And they're like, yeah, we're going. Duke told us about it, so now we're all going. I guess we're going. Now that you're telling me this, I got to go. I can't not go. Yeah, FOMO, dude. I have like massive FOMO.
I think that's it. Where I say the mecca is the sailing and cruising at Annapolis here.
Yeah.
As far as industry and leading technology and production, that's the mecca there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. From what I heard and the magazines that I get and the pictures that I see, I go, Ray Marine has a 8,000 square foot display there, and then you look at all the other ones, you're like, oh my goodness, it's I think in 2020 they didn't do it due to COVID. Okay, and I don't think they've done it in the past couple of years. I may be wrong on that, but I think they're due for a big show.
Okay,
that's what I'm hearing, and we get the invite to it, and they're like, hey, listen, we'll set you up a booth and all that. I'm like, maybe one day.
Okay.
Maybe I'll hire a clone of me, which will enable me to go up there. I want to do.
Can I just share a tip? It's not like me giving you a tip that I know. It's me seeing other people have shared this tip that have worked. People much amazing people. All right, like one of my favorite YouTubers, which is nothing like sailing YouTube videos, is Mr. Beast. He is epic. He's a genius. He's 24, 25. He's a genius in YouTube. Yeah, he understands the full psychology behind everything. I mean, he started multiple businesses since YouTube, and he's just a cool guy. So what he did was he hired somebody to just follow him around, okay, a shadow, to watch him make decisions all day long. So this person, you can afford to hire a guy doesn't have to be a genius, just a good guy, follows you around, and he just watches how you function and how you think. From the decision of what to eat for the day, maybe even what to wear, all the way to your business decisions throughout the day with all your different leaders and all your different managers. And he just starts understanding how you function. After a year, that guy is as close to you as you will ever have, right?
Yeah.
And then you can trust him to make decisions that are just what he's seen you make.
Interesting.
He will be the guy that's like, I know what Stevie would do here. We're doing this.
Really?
Right? And then once in a while, if he has to call you, he calls you. But you incentivize him, of course. But otherwise, he's your guy. He's your shadow.
Oh, really?
And when I get to that point, I'm doing that right now, but just with editing. So we hired a guy in Malaysia, a guy that watches us. So he watches me edit. And I talk through what I'm doing. Or he sends me edits, and I do it, through writing. I write descriptions on why I do this. It's super detailed. Mary does the same thing. She sits with us. So right now, our biggest hurdle or our biggest bottleneck is editing. I can shoot the hell out of content, man. I can make a video every single day with interesting content. I can't edit it, though. So if I can get Mary on the editing, I'm me editing, and then Asraf on the editing, but they have to edit like me, and I don't even know how I'm doing it really, because it's just the process I told you, like I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
So then they watch, and she's like, "Why'd you do that?" And I explain, "This is what I do," or I'm just constantly talking. I actually made a website. This is the first time I'm talking about it because only our patrons know about it. Okay. And the only reason I made it is because they're always asking me, like, David, are you editing? What are you doing? Like, are you even making videos? What's the point of all this? Like, you talk to us all day long on the WhatsApp group, but like, we want to see some videos. It's been 3 months. So I made a website called isdavidediting.com.
Nice.
All right. It just links directly to Twitch. So Twitch is the streaming, like gaming, that website, right? So then whenever I edit, I go on there and I just stream myself editing. And then they just can go on and be like, yeah, he's editing. Or it'll say on there, like, this guy hasn't been here for 4 days. And they'll like take a screenshot and post it to the group and be like, what are you doing?
Okay.
So anyways, through that process, Mary
Very
watches
cool.
and people, Asraf from Malaysia can watch, and I can talk through what I'm doing. And then they learn.
That's
So
really
go duplicate yourself.
Yeah.
It's an investment of 6 months or whatever, but at least you got this ultimate assistant, and that's why those people's assistants end up being so valuable.
Right.
They were just an assistant in the beginning, a secretary, whatever. But all of a sudden they know exactly how the boss thinks.
Yeah.
They know exactly what the boss is going to do, why he's going to do it that way. They've heard the explanations to other people, right, to the leadership team. Hey, why are you doing this? This is why I'm doing this. We're going to do it this way because of this. And you have to think about that other thing. And then you always remember that thing in the back end that you forget about. That person hears it every single time, and they become you.
Nice.
And then you can come to Mets with me.
Hey, I'm down. I'll hook us up with the first class.
Nice.
Hey,
I don't need first class, dude. I'll take cargo.
Think about it. I'm 6'10". I don't fit in the regular seats. I got to fly in style. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that would be sick. We
Yeah.
should. Oh, that's right, dude. Do you have to buy first class everywhere you go?
So either that or get the extra row.
Extra.
Yeah.
Oh, extra.
The
Damn.
extra row, yeah. So I get the little extra leg room.
Okay.
But if I look at it, if it's like a hour and a half flight, 2 hour flight, or let's say if I'm going down to Galveston, I'll get a drink, drink the drink, put on my headphones, listen to a podcast, or type something up on the computer, and then I'm there. But if I'm flying across country, I'm making a phone call, doing the upgrade.
Okay.
It's because it's just not.
No, it doesn't make sense.
My knees going through the chair in front of me. And I tell the poor bastard in front of me, they got the little thing to lean the seat back.
Yeah.
And I tell him ahead of time, like, hey, I'm just letting you know, you're not going to be able to lean it back ahead of time. So if you want to do that, you can sit here, whatever, just not in front of me. Maybe one over, because it's funny. They'll do it, and they'll just try to rocket.
Yeah.
And they'll go.
He's leaning back right
and
now.
I'm-
He's like
and-
leaning back into his chair, smashing it back, and it's
And
not
I'm
going anywhere.
excuse me, sir, ma'am, my knee is past your elbow right now. And they quickly understand what's going on. But yeah, so that's it. Anything new y'all wanna, besides that, what you just told me with that cool editing thing?
You know, we want to do a crazy journey down the coast, down the West Coast.
Okay.
Me and Daryl from Precision Sales.
Yeah.
We want to do something epic, and it's still coming together right now, but where we can raise some money for the ocean. Right, the ocean. We're not sure. We're interviewing charities right now, but the ocean is our backyard. You know, and we love it. Everybody loves it, but doesn't really know how to help it.
Yeah.
So we want to do a crazy journey. I went to this YouTube conference where there was this guy named Ryan Trahan. He crossed the country on a penny. Okay, so he had started with a penny.
Okay.
Okay, and then he's going to deliver this penny to Mr. Beast. All right, because Mr. Beast is rich and has tons of money. Okay, and would not know what a penny is. Like, he's probably never touched a penny before. It's kind of like that.
It's been a while. It's been a while since he's had one.
It's been a while. So he starts with 30 days, vlogs it every single day, and raises money for Feed America. And I'm like,
cool.
dude, we could do that for the ocean.
Yeah.
He ended up raising. He wanted to raise $100,000. He raised 1.4 million.
Oh my goodness.
Got 250 million views off of it because it's crazy. This guy's going across the country with no money. Like, he takes a penny and buys a pen from some guy and then trades it for water bottles, sells water bottles for a while, does recycling, and he's making money to buy a bus ticket to get to Vegas and that kind of stuff. But we'll do the same thing down the coast, except for I'll have like a successful CEO of a company with me, and we'll be living on the streets, trying to raise money, right? So the money that we'll start off with money for the trip. We'll take that money and donate it to, say, 4 Oceans, right, or Rock the Oceans, like in the beginning before we start. So we have no money. And then we're going to start going from Vancouver, BC, down the coast, raising money. You'll see us hustling, trying to make money. I don't know, we'll go to marinas and paint someone's boat or beg for money on the side of the street. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we'll do that and make money to get along the way, and then try to figure out a way to get a dinghy when we're down to San Diego. And then San Diego, we're going to make it all the way down and meet up with Parlay. So Parlay before, and all the channels down there. Delos will be down there, Calico Skies, SV Basic, a bunch of channels will be down there. And the idea is we get there and then we raise money. So in Ryan Trahan's version, he had this thing called the Great Reset. You donate $50,000, and he's probably just hoping, like, maybe it's a moonshot somebody donates, because his goal was $100K, right?
Right.
And you donate $50,000 and you reset him in real time. These videos are in real time, right? So you reset him. Everything he made that day or to that point, he has to start over. Like, he goes back to a penny.
He goes back to a penny.
Yeah. Do you
What
know?
an interesting concept.
Which is like, kind of, when you hear stuff like that, you're like, okay, I could see how that might work. But the reason why we're doing this is because it's worked already.
Right.
This has been completely proven, right? The psychological aspects of all this.
Yeah, there's a playbook to it so far.
The playbook is done, man. This guy's a genius. I mean, he went from 3 million to 10 million subscribers or something like that doing this, right?
Wow.
I mean, he is epic. I mean, the way he did it.
Wow.
And not anyone can do it, but the way he shoots, I can shoot that way. You know, if we find an editor to come along, I think he can probably edit similar. And the charity behind this, the cause behind it all, people will get around the ocean, especially all these different channels that are here.
Yeah.
They'll all support in their own ways.
Let us know how we can help.
Yeah.
I'm all for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
That's
So
cool.
so the Great Reset, I don't know how many times he got reset, but he got reset 50, 50, 50, 50, 50K to this to Feed America. And he raised 1.4 million.
That is
doing
so
that because
cool.
it's funny as hell. Because of you just reset him after all that work.
Yeah.
Right. And he loves it because
Keeps him going. Keeps him going for the next one.
and you're helping the organization, right? You're
That
helping the
is so
charity.
cool.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's something we got coming up. We're thinking about doing it before everybody crosses. You know,
Yeah.
people will cross in March.
Yeah.
And I mean, we talked to Colin about it. He's in. You know, he wants to donate. He wants to be a part of it. And we haven't worked it out yet. So we'll probably raise some money from companies to be at the end. And if we can reach that place, then that money goes to the charity. You know what I mean? So
I've always wanted to take a flight out west. It's been a while.
come out, man.
Yeah.
Come out. Help us do. Come be poor with us for a few days.
Hey, I can
You can even do some of the legs with them.
Yeah.
I know how to pull in some ropes and steer a wheel every now
There you
and
go,
then.
man. We got people. We got people that want to be a part of it. The different channels will come out. So it's kind of like our version of Annapolis, but for a video, where we can bring together all these different channels to all contribute towards this ultimate goal of raising money and saving our backyard. Put your money where your backyard is, right?
sure.
We see it every single day. You guys see it on this side. Atlantic side, wherever you are, you look outside, it's a beautiful ocean.
We got to take care of it.
We do. We absolutely do. And it's so easy to just look past that. And I'm actually one of the last people that ever cared about that kind of stuff because I was so caught up with my own life and trying to figure out what I want to do. But, you know, through a course of different events over this past year, like I see like you have to stand up for the things that matter to you.
And for the next generation.
Yeah, you know? it matters. And I'm learning. And I feel like this is a good way for us to go sacrifice some time. You know, we might take about 45 days to get down there. We'll vlog it every single day, and people will be able to follow the journey, and then it'll build towards the viewership, and then people will be donating. You know?
Let me know. I'll put a link on the link on the website.
Hell yeah.
So people that go to our website can see it.
Yeah. And then you'll be seeing what happens to us every single day.
That's so cool. That's awesome, man. That's so cool.
That's something interesting new that's coming up. We'll talk more about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, hey, I think that's a little over 2 hours.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Love it.
Yeah. Wait, 1:30. Yes, no, 1 hour and a half. It's been a long week.
Perfect. No,
whatever
I love
that
it.
is.
I love it. We can go all day long. We'll do it again.
We can.
We got to do a reboot. Okay. I mean, we got to do another one next time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Where can everybody find your handles?
If you go on YouTube and search David Shih, SHIH. That's what I never made a good channel name. I mean, we're still trying to figure it out, but in the process, you know, we got logos now that say David Shih Sales. Yeah. I mean, I haven't really sailed
That's
that much.
what I know you by.
I aspire to sail one day.
I got the hat.
I've learned from the best. You know, I know all about sales on a Lagoon 450. And so we're David Shih Sales. You can find us online. You can search Broken Bulkheads Lagoon. That'll probably bring it up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you could probably search Parlay Revival. I'm like really trying to like beat out Colin at his own name in the search algorithm. And I think he searched it one day and I was like number 3. And he's like, what the hell, dude? It's like, are you using all my tags? I'm like, yep, I'm using all of your tags.
Yeah. Oh,
so, we're on YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that. Okay. But David Shih Sales, man.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Well, like I said, y'all's energy is so positive, and I think it's really what the sailing community needs.
Okay.
And you know, even when I look at the videos, it's like, hey, we gotta go tackle this structural thing with my boat. You're doing it with a smile, and I think that that encourages a lot of people to continue their boat projects and to keep them on the dream of living this lifestyle.
You got to do the dream, man. You have to follow the dream.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's all we're doing.
Let's go get some food.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Stevie.
Everside. Numero uno. She's been practicing her signature like all week long. She doesn't have a lot of experience, but you know. I'm playing. Nice. I want to feed. Oh.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of bird.